Welcome back to the Horror Highway podcast. Today it's me, Omar, and
Um,
with me is
it's Aris.
Iris. Um,
Aris.
Sorry, my voice sounds. I don't know. It sounds a little weird to me. Throat hurts, but whatever. Check out the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think last video was the creepy websites video. It was a pretty cool video. I liked
Fuck.
it. It's short too, so you're not dragged out for 10 minutes for the runtime or whatnot.
Mm,
New video. I don't know when's the next new video. Like Monday.
Today.
Okay.
Or yeah, I guess yesterday because it comes out on this comes out on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I mentioned today.
So I mean, if it's after this, then it should be on Tuesday as well.
Yeah. This will be Tuesday. Wait. No. This will be Wednesday. Yeah, this will be Wednesday on YouTube.
On YouTube.
It'll be Wednesday.
Tuesday on everything else.
Yeah. Let's stop lollygagging and get into the story today. So how do you feel about rain, Eris?
It's calming. It's alright.
You like it? It's alright. It's
Yeah.
mid weather. I don't like the rain. If I hate the rain, uh, I like the sun more. Dry, windy weather is better than rainy weather.
I like rainy weather more than dry.
Nah, that's some like beta mentality. So I'm gonna sit inside and have the excuse to play video games when you could go outside and strain your back and neck with manual labor. Okay. On August 7th, 1994, in Oakville, Washington, at 3 a.m., rain began to fall, blanketing a 20 square mile area. It's very common for it to rain over there in Washington, but this time the rain was different than all the other times.
This is top left, right? Not top right.
Yeah,
This isn't DC.
This is
Not DC.
Oh, this is Washington, not DC, just Washington. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember the difference between the two. I know one has the capital in it.
The Washington D.C. is not a state.
Oh yeah,
Washington is a state.
Okay. See, I don't remember that. No matter how many times people tell me that.
One's top left, one's top right.
I'm not gonna remember. I refused to remember it in 5th grade, and I refuse to remember it now. Where was I? See, this rain was strange. It wasn't the normal type of rain. I mean, it was a gelatinous substance that no one had ever seen before. And over a period of 3 weeks, it would rain 6 more times. And like those times, it was all this weird gelatinous substance.
Cloudy with the chance of meatballs, bro. They had Jello rainbow.
Jello rainbow.
Motherfuckers missed the meatballs.
I mean, people did describe it as a Jello-like. It was supposed to be, from what I read, the size was about a whole grain of rice. That was like the size of the jelly or whatever.
Not too big.
And but there was a lot of it kind of everywhere, and there's a lot of fake pictures of it on the internet. I don't think they ever actually got pictures of the substance.
What year was this?
1994.
Okay. My bad. I'm pretty sure you said that earlier, but
yeah, I mean it's fine.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's fine. Now people went out and touched it and like messed with it. There's this one story of a police officer who like it started raining, so he turned his wipers on, right? But because it was this weird goo, instead of actually wiping the windshields, it just got the goo all over his car, and so he had to like grab it. He put gloves on, but other people were just grabbing it, taking it off. And they said it had like a latex texture, very Jello-like. So there's something really weird that happened to the people who touched that Jello blob. A lot of them got sick. They had flu-like symptoms, sometimes for 7 weeks, sometimes for 3 months. And the weird thing is, like, a lot of people were affected, right? But when doctors came to look at them, they couldn't find like a correlation between the jello or the blobs and like
Besides the
why they
fact
got
that
sick.
besides the fact that they touched the Jello.
Yeah, basically. Like they looked at it and they were like, "This shouldn't cause you to get sick. It's just, well, they don't know what it is actually. I'll get into that later. But there's this one case sticks out where there's this person named Sunny Barcliff, and she had actually touched it, and she got sick really badly. Right? She was found, I think, lying on her bathroom by her daughter, who was also having symptoms. They were all nauseous and like fucking, I forgot what else. It was nauseous and like queasy and everything. Obviously flu-like symptoms. So like they're cold, they're shaky and whatnot. And so they took her to the doctor, but he said like this seems to have something to do with her, specifically her ear infection, or she had an ear infection, and her symptoms were more in line with that than if touching the blobs. But it's still strange because, you know, there was more people around town who also reported getting sick. Also, allegedly, her cat died after touching this weird blobs, and there's more alleged reports of stray animals and pets dying after coming in contact with these blobs.
That's very strange. My first thought would be like global warming or something, you know?
Global warming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's raining like goo, you know?
I mean, I guess that's
like acid rain type beat, you know?
It's a reasonable explanation, actually.
And then, I mean, if it's like, because Washington is up north, I think it's the highest state on the left,
right next to Canada.
Yeah, so I maybe coming from like a North Pole type beat area when it's getting too hot and shit.
Want to know something stranger?
What?
I told you it rained 6 more times those blobs, right?
Yeah.
No one got sick after the first time.
I mean, immunity. They built up immunity.
But if it was enough to like cause animals to die and people to fall like feeling very ill, I mean, you know. I mean, even after a COVID vaccine, you're still likely to get COVID.
Government rain.
Now, the doctor who looked over this woman, Sunny Barcliff, Dr. David Little, ran tests on the blobs, and he found something really weird, right? He found human white blood cells. Sorry, I needed the burp. That wasn't meant to be a dramatic pause.
Okay. I was like, okay, that's a weird place to end it.
I mean that is where it ends.
You want me to go? So it was supposed to be a dramatic stop.
Well, it wasn't. I actually did need a burp.
But it was still supposed to be a dramatic stop.
I guess. If you want to see it as that. Okay, I actually did need a burp. I don't know if it picked up on the mic or not.
It kind of did, kind of not.
I closed my mouth for it, by the way.
Well,
I'm not a fucking slob.
Sure.
Okay, I mean, I'll move into a little bit later.
Maybe.
Huh?
Nothing.
Whatever. Okay. So this prompted Dr. David Little to get in contact with Washington's Department of Ecology Hazardous Material Spill Response, and this man called Mike Weisler. Now, there's something weird online was that Mike Weisler was being called a different name. It was Mike something else. But on the wiki and on a Reddit post that I read, they both refer to him as Mike Weisler instead of the article, like the 2 other articles I read. One of the articles didn't even name him. They just named that the Washington Department of Ecology Hazardous Material Response ran tests on it. But I'm gonna just go with Mike Weisler. He was a microbiologist, so he ran tests on it because the doctor asked him to look at it. And what he found was that whatever it was, those blobs, had no nuclei. Now, that goes against what Dr. Little found, which was that it was a white blood cells, because our cells have nuclei.
Can you say that? No.
Wait, what's up?
Nothing.
Also, Mike found that there were 2 types of bacteria in the blob. And one could be found in the human digestive system. So, like, it came from inside a human. Or the bacteria is commonly found in a human intestines or whatever. And lastly, nearly a year after Dottie fell ill, which was... give me a sec. Sunny Barcliff's daughter. Um, she mailed a sample that she stored in a freezer of the goo to Amtest Laboratories, a private research lab, and there it was analyzed by Tim Davis, another microbiologist who believes he saw Jesus, it's been forever since I've said this word. Eukaryotic cell complex nucleus containing cells that are present in most living creatures, and that meant that the blob was or had been alive.
So I mean, maybe human in the ocean water cycle. I don't know.
What does that mean?
Human died in the ocean. He's just like bleeding out or something, you know.
But it's like you think like his blood turned to blobs.
I mean, water cycle. I don't know, bro.
I mean, I just it's
slushy, like slushy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually funny that you say that because there's a bit more that I'm gonna get into like in a little while, but yeah, this is like really fucking weird because it hasn't happened since ever again, and for some reason, when more tests were meant to be ran on these blobs, the sample went missing. Like it was in a hospital being tested or whatever, and then when they went to go run more tests on it, they came back and found that like someone had taken it, and no one has figured out who has taken it since then.
Government rainbow.
Government rain. I completely forgot about that stupid theory. Actually, now that we're talking about the theories, let's get into theories about the goo. Alright? This one you're gonna like. So the first theory is called the Jellyfish Theory. And that theory is that the blobs were results from bombing runs by the military in the ocean 50 miles away from the town. And that they were bombing the ocean, right? And that they hit a shit ton of jellyfish, which caused them to be dispersed into a rain cloud. And then that it would later come down and rain over the town. And that's why people were getting sick, because the jellyfish was like they were getting sick from the venom, basically, of a dead jellyfish.
Mm-hmm.
And so the funny thing about that is that the Air Force acknowledges that they had bombing runs in the ocean, but as far as they witnessed, that nothing had been thrown up into the air. It was just water or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, if they bomb something, I assume most of it coming out is water, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of difficult to see, like, if anything's in there, you know?
It would be extremely obvious.
Then again,
it would be extremely obvious. Jellyfish don't look like water.
And they're pretty clear, though.
I mean, not all the time.
I mean, most of them are.
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, the deep ones, yeah. But the ones that are, like, not so deep, not really.
They're still clear. You expect them to be like a solid, like,
who did the research on siphonophores, sir? You're incorrect. You're incorrect. The hydroids are not all clear.
They are.
Okay. And now this the town liked this theory so much they wanted to have like a jellyfish festival inside the town. Let's see, where was I? And like they had this like drink they wanted to make out of it and everything. But the issue with this theory is that out of all the reports, no one reported that it smelled like dead animal. Because obviously if it was raining jellyfish, it would smell like dead animal coming down.
Or if they got into the rain clouds, most of it would be like filtered out.
No, not the smell.
I mean, yeah.
And reports of like flying and fish being thrown at fucking houses, it still smells like dead animal and shit like that.
Yeah, but the fish didn't get like fucking siphoned out through the water cycle.
I mean, I don't know.
Just throwing a fish.
I don't know.
That jellyfish died in the water, bro.
So you're saying this is the theory you believe the most?
I don't know what the other theories are.
Okay. Also, the doctor really didn't like this theory. So, where was I? The next theory is the bioweapon theory, and that some people claim to have seen slow flying planes go over the city before the rain happened, and that they believe that the jelly was some sort of bioweapons test by the government on the people in order to see the effects of this weird goo on people. And as far as I'm aware, I mean, there's obviously no evidence for this besides like hearsay, and the government isn't gonna acknowledge this type of fucking theory.
I mean, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds more believable than the jellyfish theory, but at the same time, it's like,
I don't know.
Now the next theory is the plain waste theory, and this is from the doctor Mike. He initially thought that the goo was waste from an airplane, and he contacted the Federal Aviation Administration, but they said that their goo, like their waste, has to be dyed blue when it's in the plane, and that they're not allowed to actually release it mid-flight. So that like kind of ruled out the waste, the human waste theory or whatever. Or it would just be airplane waste, I guess. But
what color was the goo? Did it say?
It was clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
yeah, jellyfish sounds kind of believable.
It does it. Okay, and also it really wouldn't explain how it would happen 6 more times over. Like if a plane accidentally dropped biohazardous material or just waste by accident, maybe, but 6 more times over 3 weeks, it's kind of like that'd be really obvious to the people. And the last theory is the star jelly theory, which is so in reports from the 17th century, they reported that something similar happened, like in poems and shit, that this weird goo would come from the sky, and they called it the star jelly, and they believed that it was like it came from falling stars and everything. And most modern scientists believe that it's actually like amphibians, algae, slime molds, and even crystals of sodium polyacrylate, sometimes used in agriculture, which gets absorbed into water, and then it turns into like a weird gelatinous blob that gets rained down. And that this did happen in 2012 in a town called Bournemouth. And this theory, I wouldn't say it's the same thing. It's similar. But the main thing is people didn't get sick in that town. So this has prompted people to believe that the people getting sick in Oakville was actually mass hysteria. That someone had gotten sick just coincidentally at the time they touched the goo. Another person saw it, and then their brain made the connection, and then they like all started getting sick because they believed that it would cause like a type of sickness. You get me?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most believable theory out of all of these. That some strange weather phenomenon. Well, no. Well, that's just what they said in the old times, right? But there's been many modern kind of lookings at those things and explanations, and one of the explanations found was the sodium. Sorry, I said that weird. The sodium polyacrylate. So there's more weirder things, right? Because you know how you talked about blood rain earlier or whatever?
Blood rain?
Well, you didn't say blood rain. You said like rain of DNA. Well, this isn't the first time that's happened, right? So I didn't get the year, but one time in Sri Lanka, it wasn't too long ago. It was pretty recent.
Like Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, bro.
Oh, my bad, Sri Lanka. You're right. It is. I don't know. Fucking, I'm stupid, right? So one time in Sri Lanka, it rained red rain. If I can say that 3 times fast, bro.
Red rain.
You fucked it up on the second one.
Red rain.
red rain, whatever.
Yep.
And people call this the blood rain, right? And over there in Sri Lanka, my bad, they have buckets out to collect rainwater so they could use as like drinking water or just washing and everything. And so these people had buckets full of like red water, so they took it to like the ecology people to come see what it was. And what scientists had found was that it was cells without DNA, but they were replicating, and they hadn't figured out what it was. So it's kind of similar to what like the conflicting reports of what the jelly could be, where it was alive or it is alive, but it doesn't have a nucleus, but for some reason, so the Dr. Little was the only one to have found the white blood cell in his reports, and no one else found the white blood cells in the reports of the goo before it went disappearing, obviously.
Yeah.
And so it might be similar to this weird blood rain, but for some reason it became like coagulated and clear. And unfortunately, that's kind of all there really is on this mystery, because one day the fucking goo rain was in town and everyone was freaking out, and the next thing they knew, it was gone. I guess it just like evaporated or went into the ground, and it has not come back since that day. And obviously all the specimens that they had kept have disappeared. So no more testing. The only thing we do know is these weird. One thing it is absolutely confirmed though is that the two bacteria found in the goo, one was from the human digestive system, and it is commonly found in lots of animals, lots of living animals.
Maybe it's the aliens underwater.
The aliens underwater?
Yeah.
Is that what you're hitching on?
That's where they live.
You think that's where they live?
That's where they live. I know. I seen them. I talked to them.
You seen them? You talked to them?
Yeah.
Did they talk to you?
No.
Yeah. I know. I think this is like a really weird case, and this is like a real case. Like there is no, like, this isn't like rumor or, I don't know what another word for urban myth. Like, there multiple people did report the goo. It had come in contact with the government agency.
Is there like any like official files of this stuff or not?
Yes, because on a video that I watched a bit of, but I mainly went in the comments to find more resources of, by the Barely Sociable YouTuber. He said that he.
It's kind of mean to say that about him, bro.
That's the name of the YouTube
channel.
channel.
I know, it's a joke.
He in one of the comments of his video said he had the autopsy report of the goo, but it was behind the Patreon link. So
autopsy review, they fucking killed it and fucking.
Well, I mean, I don't know if autopsy review was the right word for it, but there is documentation.
Or like someone that died due to the goo.
No, I think it's I don't know the okay, let me reword that. The
microbiology.
The microbiologist. So not the doctor.
Michael's biologist, bro.
I fucking hate you. The microbiologist report on this goo. He had it. It was just behind the Patreon link, and broke kid. Broke.
Not $1 or what?
I don't know. I didn't bother to look. But I mean, I'm sure there is like actual reports somewhere if he managed to get one. You get me?
Maybe he's just trying to trick you into paying for his Patreon.
As far as I'm aware, he's not, because I mean, he's got a big following, and I'm sure someone would have made a fucking exposed video on him if he was doing that, because that's pretty scummy, and that's the type of things drama YouTubers like to dig up. But that's getting off the point. Saying that there is obvious paperwork for these types of things. I mean, there kind of has to be. With the bureaucracy of the government, there's always a paper trail, and seeing as the what's it called, the Washington Waste whatever
administration, maybe.
I'm trying to look. The Washington Department of Ecology's hazardous material spill response would have to write a report on this. So that report has to exist somewhere, and also, I'm pretty sure you could pay for the AmTest Laboratories report because it's a private research lab. So if someone wanted to buy like a lab report on that, I'm pretty sure they could. I don't know if they sell it, but if they do, I would assume someone could buy that type of report. Now, because this is a big case, and it is a big case, like a lot of people know about it. It was like on Unsolved Mysteries, like, you know, that really big show from the 90s.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the BuzzFeed guys, BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one that, I mean, that's a good show too, but I'm talking about the one from the like actual TV during TV era. They reported on this, and like that's where I read about the police coming in contact with the goo. And obviously he probably had to write a report on it too, so there's probably that report as well about his encounter with it.
I don't know. I mean,
well, I guess what theory is your favorite out of these? Bioweapon, star jelly, jellyfish, airplane waste.
I don't know.
You don't know? You can't
they're
really.
They're all fucking stupid.
Are they all? How's the airplane waste one stupid?
Because you said the color was clear.
They had to be dyed blue. You don't think maybe the dye could have come off and coming on the ground?
I mean, if it's just airplane waste, then I mean the waste will just fall down as a not rain, just like as
yeah, that's
like,
true. It has to come from the airplane.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about that,
and you said it happened 6 times.
It happened 6 times, and that people reported that airplane flew beforehand over the town.
I mean, that would have happened like maybe at most like 10 minutes away, you know,
from the plane. Yeah, I feel like people would have noticed. And it happened at 3 a.m. I don't know if airplanes. Well, yeah, airplanes fly at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, they all just go to sleep in the air at the.
Yeah, you're right. They're just little birds, right?
Yeah,
the government doesn't want you to know. It's not. Have you seen that video of like the fucking like it's like a CGI of like a fucking airplane taking off by flapping its wings? Like the government doesn't want you to know this. It's like a meme.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, one weird thing I found out was that waste from an airplane is called blue ice. Because like if it does land somewhere, they don't want people to know it's waste, or the Federal Aviation Administration.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Like if it is poop, it's
like yeah, if it's poop, it's dyed blue, so you can't really tell, right? I guess. I mean, according to you, if it falls from the sky, it loses its smell or something. I don't fucking know.
I mean, that's only if it's filtered out through like the fucking water cycle.
Yeah, so a weird thing about that I just remembered is eukaryotic cells do have nuclei. It's what is it? Eukaryotic cells are the ones that don't contain nucleus or nuclei. Or is it the other way around? Shit, I don't remember.
I thought you did the research.
Well, this is what yeah. So it's nuclei and nucleus, and I think eukaryotic does have nucleus. And prokaryotic have nuclei or whatever. So, I mean, it seems more that this does seem to be some sort of weird bacteria. Like, maybe the gel was containing that is one thing I read, that the gel was perhaps containing the bacteria in, and that when people came in contact with the bacteria. But as long as you didn't touch the goo, you would be like good because the goo was stopping it from becoming airborne or whatever. You get me? And that kind of lends credence more to the like the bioweapon theory or the waste theory than any of the other theories.
I don't like the bioweapon theory.
Why?
It just
government's done it before.
Yeah, but it just don't make sense. Why Washington, huh? They could have gone to like fucking Virginia or something, bro. No one lives there.
I mean, have you ever heard of Oakville in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have? Okay.
I
Never
have.
mind. I know this.
No,
Apparently, this is a humongous town that everyone knows about.
everyone knows about it.
I don't know.
You know about it.
I mean, now I know about it.
Exactly.
But
I mean,
yeah.
they got like really close to Canada. That's the thing, you know.
True, true.
If it was government, that would have been like super close to Canada.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe you get some on this side and some on that side, and you go like, "Huh? Look, it happened to us." We don't know.
If that was the case, there'd be also reports from Canada.
From
right?
Canada, unless they miss the mark, you can't really control things falling down. Maybe it wasn't meant to land on the town. But that is a bit crazy of a crackpot theory. Out of all of them, I'm honestly inclined to say it's a waste theory, and maybe that the plane, for some reason, was like just went rogue and was like, I'm gonna shit on these people, and I'm not gonna die it. Maybe it flew from like a private airfield, and for some reason they just really needed to throw away the waste. You get me? Maybe it's like some byproduct of like some weird fucking drug or something, and they just threw it in the middle of the town to get rid of it, knowing that the mystique behind it would maybe hide the whatever they were doing. You get me? It's kind of far fetched, but I still think the waste theory.
Like I said earlier, how long till like it actually started raining from the plane that they saw up here, like before, you know? You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, they never claimed the plane appeared at like when it was raining. That's the thing.
Exactly. And it did it 6 times, bro. Like what? Like oh.
But if it's a small plane, no one's gonna see it.
In the sky, bro. Unless
I mean, as long as you stay above the clouds, bro. As long as you stay above the clouds, it don't even look like it's raining. They'll think it comes from the clouds.
So it just happened to be raining all 6 times, and the guy just like, you know what? Let me go over this.
Well, it wasn't. So it wasn't raining water. It never rained water during these times. It was just goo.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe it was just those 6 times that they needed it. I don't know.
Yeah. So was it like one cloud or something, or what?
Well, I mean, it's Washington. It's always cloudy.
But is it like one cloud or what?
What do you mean?
Or is it like this big ass plane just?
Well, I mean, if you obviously it's gonna get hit by wind and updrafts, it's kind of gonna go everywhere over a certain distance. So it's.
But I mean, if it's poop, it's not just that. I assume it's just like a little.
But what if it's? I'm saying, what if it's not poop? But what if it's just other types of waste?
Like what, pee?
Yeah, maybe mixed together or something.
Gelatin pee.
I mean, hey, if you kind of get it right, the consistency.
Cum? Is it just cum or what?
It's all held
just
together.
Cum coming down, bro. They got AIDS or something.
Maybe, bro. Maybe she got an ear infection because she really wanted a.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's these things called umbrellas that they could have used.
True.
Really hopeful.
But yeah, so I guess you're really undecided on what to call this type of mystery. I'm just gonna put you under.
So I don't know.
I'm just gonna put you under the star jelly theory because fuck you. Fuck you.
That's the one I just put me under the normal jellyfish one.
You really are going with the jellyfish theory that they blew up a shit ton of jellyfish and they flew over 50 miles.
It doesn't have to be them blowing up jellyfish. Just be like, oh, there's some dead animals here, jellyfish. That gets filtered out through the fucking water cycle, which for some reason you're just ignoring the water cycle.
I am ignoring the water cycle because I think it came from a plane, not a water cycle. I mean, there you have it, guys. It's a bit of a short episode today, but you know, this theory or this mystery is kind of like just up in the air and no one really knows what happened. And you know,
I know what happened. I was there.
Okay.
I was right there.
He was right there.
It was me.
It was him. He looked at the clouds and was all like, I shouldn't rain water today. I wanted to rain some jelly.
I turned on creative mode. Just started throwing down blast potion of weaknesses.
You just threw axolotls at like max speed out the ground.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it on that. Funny little short episode. More lighthearted than the true crimes. There was a cum joke in there.
You guys think I'm joking? It was me. All along.
Yeah, even in the 17th century.
Yeah, that was still me.
That was still you.
I make a time machine in like 5 years and I go back in time.
How would you know that in 5 years you make it?
Because that's what I'm working on right now. I have the plans right here.
You have the plans. Is that
I
why
just don't
you
have the money.
Okay. Is that you're gonna get the money from the podcast, though, right?
Who knows?
Well, you should know.
Not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for having fun.
Yeah, but if you know in 5 years that you're gonna have a time machine, then you should know where you get the money from.
No, because it's not the future yet. All I know is I have a time machine right here.
Right here, you have it in front of you. You have plans.
I have a miniature time machine.
Where'd you get it from?
I made it.
Right now?
Well, not right now.
In the future?
No.
When you have the money.
I have the plans right now to make it, like the how to arm it and shit.
But you said you had a mini one right now.
Yeah, I made it, but miniature.
So how's that any cheaper from a big one?
Because it's bigger and smaller.
Well, you know, all I gotta say is that he's going on a weird rant about being some sort of time god and him being the one who's making all this weird phenomena in the United States of America. Maybe are you saying you're Mothman too?
I never said that.
You never said that. Maybe you're Goat Man. I don't fucking know.
No, I don't want to be out there scaring people.
Anyways, like I was saying,
if I was Goatman, I'd be over there fucking punching them.
Okay, maybe Goatman did punch him. You don't know the stories. You don't know all the stories.
Maybe it was Mothman shitting or coming, bro.
Actually, didn't that happen in Washington?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I think it was either New England or in Washington. Either way. Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. It's end the episode here. I had some fun, lighthearted episode. Especially after my last one, which was fuck. Yeah, this has been the Horror Highway. I'm Omar and
Aris.
And later.